Good morning Trinidad and Tobago. Good morning to all of the loyal listeners of the Street 919 FM. As always, thank you for choosing the Street 919 FM as your frequency of choice to take you through the rest of your Sunday morning drive time as we head up to 1 o'clock. So, you're tuned in to Cooking with Dominic Rumain, and I'm your host, Dominic. I believe our social media platform should be up and running, Facebook and YouTube. Yes, I saw the link come up there. Right. So, good morning to Mr. and Mrs. Giuseppe, Mr. and Mrs. Regis, to my colleagues Sharon and Bruce, good morning. Management staff of the Street 919 FM, good morning to Mother Tuna Puna, Mano. Morning, Angie. To Oman Olga, good morning to you. Malcolm and Gemma, morning to you all as well. To Patsy Edwards, good morning. And let me also say birthday greetings going out to Natifa Melville, who I believe is celebrating her birthday today. So, happy birthday to you, Mom. Good morning to Nicole Caesar and all of the others listening to us. Let me see. Let me just call out some of the folks I'm seeing here on the chat. Carol Myers, Rosemary Headley, Istra Blake, Marcelin Ned, Alison Samuel. Morning, Alison. Who else do we have here? Let me see. I don't think the trolls have come on as yet. So good morning to all of you, Judy King and Malka Rock, Angie Bascom and Eric, good morning to you. Right, so, as usual, it gives me no pleasure really to have to be responding to people. And I heard I was called out again yesterday. This is really becoming an annoyance. So I will try not to do it too often in the future. But again, as I say, if we are saying that we are coming to educate and inform, I hate having to say this every week, educate and inform yourself before you come to educate and inform others. Because if the information that you're bringing really and truly lacking substance, then I have no choice but to respond. I feel I need to stop listening. People just call me and say, hey, you're listening? So, the Minister of Finance announced, as was to be expected, because the Prime Minister did hint at this a few weeks ago, that the government would need to look at the subsidy situation with respect to fuel. And the Minister of Finance would have announced on Friday the state's intention to increase the price of fuel effective the 19th of April, where we'll be paying $1 more for super, I think $1 more for premium, and 50 cents more for diesel. And as was to be expected, you have a lot of people who are up in arms about the government being wicked and heartless and cruel to do such a thing, that they don't care about the poor people. And the only people who are going to benefit from this is the wealthy. How? I don't know. But again, donkey logic seems to be the order of the day in Trinidad and Tobago, especially as it pertains to this particular issue, right? So, listening yesterday, one would have gotten the distinct impression that the only place that the price of fuel has gone up is in Trinidad and Tobago. You see, when we don't understand what a subsidy is and the impact that such a subsidy has on the very same poor people that you are so concerned about now, because the more money that the state has to pay on subsidies, it is the less money that the state has to buy bed in the hospital. You know, members of the literati who are always talking about the government should buy more beds for the hospital and put medication in the hospital. For each additional dollar that the government has to pay for a subsidy is $1 less that they have to buy bed, to buy medication. It's $1 less that they have to provide food for the school feeding program. It is $1 less that they have to be able to fix the roads, to pave the potholes that you all have an issue with and always setting fire on the streets for. Yes? They have a choice. We can either spend this money on subsidies or to keep the cost of living down, or we could take this money, we could increase the price of the fuel a little bit, save a couple million, tens of millions, or maybe a couple hundred millions on the subsidy, and use that money to do other things that will directly impact the same people who complaining. But we don't understand that. So Educate and inform. Every week we come in to educate and inform, but you're not educating and informing the people on that fact. That while you're griping about an increase in the price of fuel will result in an increase in the price of transportation. Again, that is subjective. You see, because everybody want the government to take one for the team, but we're not asking anybody else to take one for the team. So imagine, I'm reading yesterday that the head of the Supermarkets Association, Mr. Dipty, is saying that the decision by the government to increase the price of fuel at this time is insensitive. Yes? Insensitive. Premature. But when it is that the members of the Supermarket Association decide to increase the price of their goods and services at their whim and fancy, right? Simply because there's an increase in the price of shipping internationally, simply because there's an increase in the price of the raw material or some of the products that they buy. Any little thing that impacts their profit, their bottom line, they're quick to increase the price of all of the products that they sell. But that is not insensitive. That is not premature. No, it's not. And they're quick to tell you, well, it's the global reality and this is what is happening and the price of everything is going up and the cost of shipping and how much we have to pay for a container and all of this, and we need to be able to recoup that cost. You know why? Because we need to be able to make sufficient profit so we could buy another Porsche Cayenne, so we could buy another Range Rover, so that we could buy another Prado, so that we could take another 2 vacations to France or to some place in Europe. Yes? Because we need to have another house. We need to buy another house down the islands. We need to continue to maintain the standard of living that we currently maintain. We need to continue to ensure that we widen that gap between the rich and the poor. So we are not prepared to take a hit. We are not prepared to reduce or to lose 1 penny in profits simply because of what's happening globally. So when it hits our pockets, we don't care about the poor. We don't think it's insensitive. But only when the government does it. So that the state, because remember the money in the treasury doesn't belong to the government. It belongs to the people. The purpose of the government. So when I hear people talking nonsense about, oh, it's the responsibility of the government to find solutions and ways to fix the thing and to keep... The responsibility of the government is to manage the resources of the state in the best interest of the people. It seems to me some people believe that the treasury is this big, huge room that they probably have in the basement of Central Bank or somewhere that filled with money. And every day they go in there with some trolleys and they take out money and they send it to the commercial banks to pay government's bills. And then when the vault empties, they just go and make more money and put it back there. Or that Dr. Rowley have a magic wand, and when the money running low in the treasury, the central bank governor calls him and say, hey, boss, we need something there. Do something now. Just wave the wand and fill it back up. Huh? Every avenue that this administration looks to get resources, finances, to meet the needs of the people, all they have a problem with it, but always griping. They take money from the HSF fund, you're all griping. They're raiding the HSF fund and they're taking money from future generations. They go to borrow, you're all complaining. They're going to increase the debt to GDP ratio. Never mind the fact that half all you have a clue what debt to GDP means. But anyway, right, because you're listening to Kamala and Munilal talk that talk. So they're increasing the debt to GDP ratio and they're borrowing on the earnings of future generations. All they're complaining about that. Any little thing, they decide, okay, well, we're going to raise taxes. We're going to introduce property tax. Oh, God, all they go kill we. We ain't want no more tax. This government is only tax. And I continue to ask the question, where the money coming from? Oil production is down. Gas production is down, right? But all you expect the government to maintain the same level of expenditure with reduced revenues. Don't borrow. Don't take from the HSF fund. Don't increase taxes. We can't print no money because the TT dollar is not a reserve currency. What to do? We like to talk solutions every Saturday. Solutions. Give us the solutions. You see, it's easy to throw old talk out there and say the government this and the government that. If you have the answers, well, give it to the government now. Please, help them out. Because clearly you better at running the government than the people who there now. So you tell us, what would you have done? So it's like you managing your household. You lost your job during the pandemic. Or you suffered a reduction in your earnings. So you can't give your children the same standard of living that they are accustomed to pre-pandemic, or while you were enjoying your nice, cozy salary before. And you're trying to explain to the kids, hear what? We've had a temporary setback. You know, mommy and daddy not making as much money as we used to before because of the pandemic, whatever it is, mommy lost her job. And so, you know, everything is depending on daddy's salary. So the things that mommy's salary used to pay for, we don't have that anymore. So until mommy finds a new job, we just have to cut and contrive. And the children don't want to hear that. So why it is we had this and why we had to cut that? I want my allowance. I accustomed getting $40 a day to go to school. Why you tell them about 20? I don't want to hear that. You don't want to hear that. What are you going to do? Slap them in the mouth? For what? Because when the government telling you the same thing, you cussing the government left, right, and center. So when it is that you're in the same position and your children want to cuss you out and they don't want to hear what it is that you have to say, and they want to tell you how much they hate you and they wish that the neighbor was their parents because the neighbor's situation hasn't been affected, yeah? Or perhaps because the neighbor has had a job that paying a little better, so they're not really feeling the pinch. So the neighbor children still enjoying ham, lamb, and jam. But you have to make adjustments, and your children don't want to hear that. No, don't slap them in the mouth. Take it. Because the government telling you the same thing, and you want to cuss them out. Right? And you think you're in the right, so your children in the right too. They don't want to hear that. You go and find the money. I don't care where you find it. If you are a thief, thief. But just ensure that my standard of living is not affected. I don't want to hear nothing. Yeah? Children telling you that. You want to half kill them with licks. But the government telling you that. And oh, you don't want to listen. You don't want to hear that. All right. Let me read some stuff here for you, right? You know, my godly friend always like to talk about Qatar, and everything is Qatar and Qatar, like that's the best place in the world to live. Let me read this article here from the Qatar Tribune. This is an article from July last year. Tribune News Network, Doha, Qatar. Customers will have to pay more for fuel in Qatar. Announcing the fuel prices in Qatar for August, Qatar Petroleum on Saturday said premium grade petrol will cost Qatar Rial 2.05 per litre, while the super grade petrol will cost Qatar Rial 2.10 per litre. Both fuel grades saw a jump of 10 dirhams in their fares from July. Diesel, on the other hand, is priced at Qatar Rial 1.95 per litre for January. Qatar Rial 0.05 more than its price in July. And then they have a whole table showing you here, where from September 2020 to July 2021, gasoline premium went from 1.20 Qatar Rials to 1.95. Super gasoline went from 1.25 Qatar Rials to 2. And diesel went from 1.25 to 1.90. Qatar. And they love to tell us about how Qatar is so great and all the oil money. So why is Qatar increasing the price of fuel? Since last year, August last year, we now getting an increase. We now getting an increase. We're going again. Let me give you another one. Singapore, that's the next place they love to talk about, right? Oh, Singapore ain't have no natural resources, and Singapore this and Singapore that, and we should be like Singapore. We're going again. Singapore, and this is dated April 4th, 2022. Singapore will not reduce or suspend fuel duties or provide road tax rebates despite the recent increase in pump prices, Finance Minister Lawrence Wong said on Monday 4th, adding that these measures, hear this, effectively amount to a subsidy on private transport and will have counterproductive effects. So the Minister of Finance in Singapore is saying, you see this subsidy thing, to provide a subsidy for private transport, all you who own a private car, we're not interested in that. We will provide subsidies perhaps for public transport. But if you could afford to buy a car, pay the full price. We don't want to hear nothing about that. So there will be no rebates, no suspension of fuel duties, no rebates and road tax, nothing. Rebate, nothing. Pay the full price. Right? This is Singapore. And we love to talk about Singapore. And life is great in Singapore. But we always like to come and run our mouth on Singapore and Qatar and Dubai. What happened? You all missed the memo about the increase in fuel prices in these countries? You know everything else about these countries, but you don't know about this increase in the price of fuel there. So therefore what? We should do like in Haiti. The people in Singapore should do like the people in Haiti. The people in Qatar should do like the people in Haiti and go and burn down the homes of the rich. That's what they should do, and burn down the town, man. Until the government of Singapore and the government of Qatar decide that they're going to pull back. And that's what we should do. Because we the citizens here, 30,000 of us should go down to some park somewhere down the road with the pushback movement and show the government that we mean business. Yes, that they need to continue to maintain the subsidy, despite the fact that the increase in the price of oil and the increase in the international price of fuel means that the government has to take more money that they don't have from the treasury to subsidize, to ensure that the prices at the pumps are maintained. But you see, we like to overlook certain things. That it was this administration that indicated not so long ago, in fact, for budget last year, that they were going to liberalize the fuel sector in this country and allow the Petroleum Dealers Association, the gas station owners, to decide the price of fuel. No longer the state, no longer the government, but the Petroleum Dealers Association would be able to do that. So as obtains in the United States, when the price of oil goes up, then the price at the pumps goes up. As we're seeing now in the United States, where it's so bad that we're seeing footage on social media, closed circuit cameras, capturing people using rudimentary contraptions to siphon gas from people's cars. Yes, people who can't afford the price of gas now, going around the place, popping people's gas tank lid, and taking these hoses, shoving it down in the people's tank, sucking out the gas, and then transferring it to their cars. In the great United States of America, where they could print money. The land of the free and the home of the brave, where dreams are made of. That is what American citizens have resorted to doing, stealing gas from other people's gas tanks. But the United States is the largest exporter of oil and gas. They have more refineries than anywhere else. So how come the price of fuel going up in their country? Now I heard my boy Kingsley yesterday call about and talk about the refinery. And the reason why the price is going up is because we closed down Petrotrin. But then if that is the case, my friend, tell me, why in the United States, where they have multiple refineries, the price at the pumps is going up? Because based on your logic, the price of fuel in the United States should be the lowest in the world, because they have the most oil and the most gas, they're exporting the most, and they have the most refineries. So why it going up? Explain that to me now. So it's only in Trinidad, if you had a refinery, the price would have gone down, but everywhere else that have refineries, the price allowed to go up. The maths not mathsing. Make it maths for me now. Please, help me. We're going again. Plenty to read today. So I gave you Singapore, and I gave you Qatar. Let me get this one here. Give me 1 sec. Let me pull it up. Right. So, the woman that everybody loves, the Prime Minister of Barbados, recently indicated in their budget that the government intended to do certain things to reduce the price of fuel. Yeah? Well, let me read the latest update. Barbadians will be paying more for petroleum products effective midnight Sunday, April 3rd. The price of gasoline will be $4.13 a litre, an increase of 14 cents. This is $4.13 Bajan, eh? Do the conversion, 3 to 1. So in Barbados, 1 litre of gasoline costing about 13 to 14 TT dollars. Yeah? We gripe in here about $5.97, so as the case may be. But in Barbados, you will be paying 13 to 14 TT dollars a litre. We're going again. Meanwhile, diesel will cost $3.45, kerosene $2.11, an increase of 14 cents and 31 cents respectively. So diesel in Barbados, when you do the conversion, right, costing almost $12 a litre. In Trinidad, it's still under $40 TT. But you'll be paying 12 TT dollars in Barbados. But we love Mia, ain't? Yes, we're going again. The 25-pound cylinder, also the adjusted price of LPG, the 100-pound cylinder will be $167.69 Bajan. Do the maths, multiply by 3. The 25-pound cylinder will retail at $47.02. 22-pound cylinder, $41.55, and the 20-pound cylinder, $37.77. Yeah, do the maths, multiply by 3. But we're suffering in Trinidad, eh? They don't care about the poor people. In a release, it was noted that the government made every effort to shield consumers from the full increase of refined petroleum products. However, in light of increasing oil prices internationally, the prices had to be adjusted upward for April. Government did everything possible. But it's only in Trinidad this government has not done everything possible. And so the price increase is justified everywhere else in the world except in Trinidad and Tobago, because we have an incompetent, wicked and evil government that only want to pressure poor people. So the rich people who spending more money on diesel because they have all the high-end vehicles and their gas tank taking more gas than the rest, than the poor man who had a smaller CC vehicle. Apparently, when they go to the gas station and they swipe the card realize, well, yeah, this person is wealthy. So you know what? They will pay less. And when the poor man swipe his card, they say, yeah, pauper. Where you from? Yeah, he from Lavantel. Full price for he. And the man from Westmoreland, nah. No $1 increase. In fact, we'll give him a $1 decrease. And so when Coleman Burt goes to the gas station and he pull up in whatever vehicle he's driving, because you know they like to tell you about all the vehicles that Coleman have. They say that he has he had a Porsche, and they say that he had a Ford Mustang, whatever vehicle he's driving. When he pull up in the gas station on the 19th of April, and he sticks his card, because I know he goes to the gas station by himself, he drives himself. When he sticks his card into the machine, his credit card into the pump, and it reads, Coleman Burt, hey, Coleman, where you going? Minister of Finance. Okay, no increase for you, right? Cool. Everybody else. When Terence they all sing, Faris Al-Rawi, or any of the other government ministers go to the gas station to fill up and they stick their card, the credit card into the machine, and realizes who it is, they say, right, no increase for you. You paying the same old price. And same thing, when they go to the grocery and they swipe the card and the links machine read the card and see the name of the minister, they say, all right, no increase for you, no VAT for you, and you paying a lower price than everybody else. That is what the stupidity of the illiterati would have you believe. So none of Keith Rowley don't have no poor friends. Keith Rowley doesn't have any poor families who are impacted by the things that the government has to do. Yeah? So there's only rich people Keith Rowley knows. There's only rich people Coleman Burt know. Only rich people Faris know. All members of government, they only know rich people. All their friends and all their family rich. So it have nobody is going to be impacted who is close to them, will be impacted by the higher price of fuel and will be impacted by the higher price of food, which the government has no control over. Yeah? Nah. All their family and friends rich. Yeah? So when they increase it, they don't have to worry about that. Or when the family and friends go to the grocery and the gas station, just say, hey, Keith Rowley is my family. Yeah? Faris Al-Rawi is my friend. And they say, all right, no problem. Well, you don't have to pay the higher prices. That's how it's going. I see another piece of nonsense from members of the literati who say members of the government don't have nothing to worry about because they don't pay taxes. Where do you people get this nonsense from? Members of the government, ministers are not exempt from paying PAYE. In fact, I recall Dr. Rowley a year or two ago speaking at one of his conversations with the Prime Minister indicated the amount of taxes that he pays, over $150,000 a year in taxes. PAYE, income tax. He is paying more taxes than the majority of you all in this country who always griping. So I don't know where you all get this foolishness from that members of government are exempt from paying income tax. That is not true. You're talking nonsense. They have an exemption with respect to motor vehicle tax, which is part of their remuneration package, right? And the purpose of that is really to encourage members of Parliament to be honest and not to thief. But there are some members of Parliament on the opposite side, no matter what benefits and perks they get, they will still be inclined to thief. Because as Monilal once said, when members of Parliament leave Parliament, it is difficult for them to get jobs. Secular jobs. You know why? Because people don't like them. So I don't know if that is hinting, well, there's a need to thief so that if we can't get a work when we leave Parliament after we've been there for 20 and 30 years, at least, you know, we could survive because we're no longer going to get there to get these perks. That's the excuse. That is the excuse. That's why they thief. Let me read again. I'm going to get this article for you. Huh? Right. Just now. So I read Barbados. Let me get this other one. By the way, I saw a video earlier this morning with the Prime Minister of Barbados having a very good time winding down on stage with an artist. If that was Dr. Rowley, Lord Father put a hand, send a man or come yourself. You would not hear the end of it. Watch him. He's a whole wajang. Watch him. That's how our Prime Minister should behave. But Mia, who all you love, Mia, who is so great, yes, she could do them thing. Let me find this one. Where is this article, buddy? Yes, no, well, bear with me. 1 sec. Right. Barbados cuts petrol tax while Guyana's tax goes up. Yes, Guyana, that have all the oil and all the gas, the same Guyana that they're telling us is going to be the next Dubai of the Caribbean. Eh? Read it. Now, this was before the last article that I read for you. Eh? In her 2022 budget presentation, Prime Minister of Barbados, Honorable Mia Mottley, announced that Barbados will cut its tax on petrol by 14 cents and thus reduce the price of gas and diesel to the customer. And this news came as much needed relief to people struggling to meet inflated fuel prices. Yeah? This was on the 17th of March. 3 weeks later, everything increased. In the space of 3 weeks, Mia realized, nah boy, that can't work. I try a thing there, but no way. In addition to that, the same Mia that all you love to hug up, that she's so better than Keith Rowley, is the same Mia that charged businesses in Barbados a one-time COVID contribution tax of 15%. 15% of their total revenues for the previous 2 years for companies that made $5 million and over. In addition to the normal corporation tax. And then also levied on the citizens of Barbados a one-time COVID contribution tax, 25%. In addition to your usual income tax. Yeah? Keith Rowley didn't do that. Colmember didn't do that in Trinidad and Tobago, but we love Mia, and all the platitudes and the nice talk that Mia gave, and I have no issue, I have nothing against the Prime Minister of Barbados. Let me just make that pellucidly clear. I have no issues with her. But all the nice talk that she talked at the conference that they had, the climate conference that they had in Glasgow a couple months ago. What come of that? What happened to that? We still talking that talk in Barbados? All the praises that you all heaped on Mia, what came out of that? But she's the best thing since sliced bread, eh? And Rowley can't hold a candle to her feet. I continue. Meanwhile, the tax Guyanese will pay per tank of gas goes up as the price of petrol goes up. Guyana currently charges a 10% tax on fuel purchases. For example, if fuel is priced at $110, then you are paying $10 in tax. While fuel priced at $220, you are paying $22 in tax. The tax burden goes up as fuel prices goes up. Many have called on the installed regime to take steps that would reduce the cost of fuel, but so far the regime has taken no steps to that effect. No steps. Many now call on the government of Guyana to follow the lead of Barbados and at a minimum not have taxes go up with the price of fuel. But wait, all that oil that Guyana have, what you saying? What you telling me? Nah, man. I write that, and I probably, I forged it. That is not a real article. That can't be right. Guyana that have all that oil and gas and price of fuel going up in Guyana? Guyana only has a population of about 800,000 people. Trinidad and Tobago has a population of 1.4, 1.5 million. So therefore, the government of Guyana, with all this oil money, has less citizens to provide for. Less people to provide hospital beds for. So they should be able to afford these subsidies. And so what's going on? Why are they increasing the price of fuel? And Trinidad, something wrong with Keith Rowley and his government. $1 going up. Rowley and the government don't do nothing for poor people, but yet still since they came into office in 2015, the same poor people they're talking about get an increase in the personal allowance not once but twice, from $60,000 under Kamala to $84,000. That means that the average citizen, the average taxpayer earning over $7,000 a month, or between $5,000 to $7,000 a month, saving $6,000 a year in taxes. So there are thousands of people in this country who under Kamala from 2010 to 2015 were paying pay-as-you-earn income tax. Thanks to Keith Rowley, they're not paying 1 cent of income tax. But Rowley ain't do nothing for poor people, ain't? He ain't putting nothing in poor people's pocket. They only pressure in poor people. But that extra $6,000 that he left in your pocket for the year to do it as you please, an extra $500 a month, he don't do nothing for poor people. But all they want baby grant, $500 a month to make child. As if $500 a month could mind child in this day and age. All you know, price of everything going up, but we want anti-cams to come back so we could get back the baby grant to make child. That making sense. We want handouts. They need to help the poor people. Put money in poor people's hand. Give them food card. Right? Ministry of Youth Development and National Service. Foster Cummins all over the place. Running his blood to water. Promoting this program, this agriculture program. They're giving you land. They're giving you money and training for agriculture. We ain't want that. We want food card. We want baby grant. That's what we want. We want more. We want an increase on the CPEP pay. Don't tell me nothing about becoming no entrepreneur. Not interested in that. That's too much work. I don't want to have to go and be digging no dirt in the hot sun. That's too much work. I don't want to hear about that. But when other members of society do it and they take up the opportunity, all you're quick to complain. The Indian get land, and this one get land, and the 1%. But the opportunity is created for you. We're not interested in that. Because agriculture is break-back work. I don't want that. I want a morning walk. I get up 6 o'clock, and by 11 o'clock I done work, and I had the rest of the day I could rock back and put up my foot. I want to work in the corporation, easy work. Right? Just a few hours for the day, and I could go and stand up, and they just have 2 men doing the work, and the rest of we just lean up on a lamppost. That is the work we want. Rowley ain't doing nothing for poor people. It's the same Keith Rowley who reduced VAT to 12.5%. So when you go to the hardware and you're building your house and you buy a sheet of galvanized, instead of paying 15% VAT, you pay 12.5%. When you buy the blocks and all the other material to build your house, instead of paying 15% VAT, you're paying 12.5%. But all of them who want to build big house down in Central ain't studying that. Rowley don't do nothing for poor people. Under Kamla, you pay your 15%. Well, the next time you go to buy anything in the hardware store, tell them I don't want no 12.5% VAT. Charge me 15 because I don't want nothing from Rowley. Tell them that. The ads are upon us. We continue when we come back.
Lately, yeah, I know that things been crazy, but here's what I've come to realize. When you really get your high, ooh, you just come alive, and you feel that feeling that's hard to describe. Oh yeah, so baby come down. Yo, I suppose we think till sundown. We go do what we want, anything. Oh yeah. I'm taking my own on the road, show me that way. I just live the music. And you don't have to study nobody, baby. Can't keep doing what you like, yeah. But when you really pick you up, it won't let you down. We have a real good time when we jam it, come, baby. We'll be jamming, come, baby. And when it pick you up, can't get enough. And jump on the bass one time. Wind it go, ah, my time. Walk on the waist. Raise it up.
Eyes, Value Optical Eyes. Get expert care for your eyes and really great eyes. This Easter at Value Optical, get a super 40% off frames, plus extra savings with the purchase of Supernova or Transition lenses. Enjoy these Easter savings until April 24th at all Value Optical stores. Special conditions apply. And really great buys.
Value Optical, expert care for your eyes.
London, get ready! Pretty British, Brother J, and Ali Berry presents Caribbean Soca Madness Part 1. Drink your water and mind my business.
I go drink water and mind my business.
Saturday, April 16th at the Onyx venue, 27A Queensway, Bletchley, Milton Keynes, featuring the big band in the business, Iwer George.
Yes, and this is me, Iwer George, the big boss in the business. April 16th, Soca Madness Part 1. Yes, I'm going to be in London. I'm coming to shell it.
Skinny Fabulous.
You know what I'm saying, yo, London, April 16th. It's all about the Caribbean Soca Madness Part 1. I will be here.
Baby, I've been blinking bad. All the friend I'm thinking bad.
Music by DTTP, Rigo Suave, the Stage God, Selector G, Survival #1, and DJ Wince. Tickets available on on Eventbrite UK. Early bird tickets, £25 from March 6th. For more info, call Allison at 447588376951. Trini British 447404-050703. And Brother J 447508862718. Saturday, April 16th. Caribbean Soca Madness Part 1. London, it's your turn.
Roger Garraway and his community of creatives present The Royal Exhibit, a 3-day art exhibition, Wednesday, April 27th to Friday, April 29th, Queen's Park, Savannah. Daily start time, 11:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. under the auspices of the MP for St. Anne's East, Dr. Nyan Gaspidali. The greatest and finest pieces ever witnessed by local artists in Trinidad and Tobago will be on display for purchase. Come to this wonderful event and walk away owning a masterpiece that can be displayed in your home or passed down for generations to come. Roger Garraway has now made his mark on the international market, breaking barriers and setting the standard high. He and his group of friends will wow you with their out-of-this-world pieces. This event cannot be missed. You can also enjoy the opportunity to browse and purchase fantastic one-of-a-kind handmade art and craft pieces created by local designers from the community. Special guest appearances by Patrice Roberts, Michael Edwards and friends, Iwer George, Roxanne Lane, Gracie, and Joey Rivers and his band. Food and drinks on sale. Secured parking for all vehicles and all COVID-19 protocols will be observed. Special thank you to the Member of Parliament for St. Anne's East, Dr. Nyan Gaspidali.
Tobago, get ready for Tobago's newest ultra premium brunch inclusive event. We're transforming the Pigeon Point Heritage Park Tobago into Paradise Isle. On April 18th, 2022, Easter Monday from 2 p.m. to 10 p.m. Enjoy our assortment of premium cocktails, bottles, and bubblies. Choose and dine from our vast and delectable menu, whether on or off the grill. This Easter Monday, Pigeon Point Heritage Park, Tobago, Paradise Isle.
Catch plenty savings this Lenten season in Extra Foods Plenty for 20. Swiss pasta cuts 5 for $20. Gala apples 10 for $20. Quaker Instant Quick Oats 5 for $20. Mama Ramen noodles 10 for $20. Sunshine Choco Gems 8 for $20. Caribbean Flavors Coconut Milk Powder 5 for $20. Biscuit cookies 13 for $20. And so much more. Sale ends April 11th. And check us out on Facebook and Instagram for even more specials. Extra Foods, always extra for less.
Police, good day. Officer Best Price here. Johnny Q Auto Parts Division?
Yes, sir.
I'm here to investigate an assault on batteries.
Excuse me, sir?
Is it true? You have batteries selling for $488?
Yes. Power Master, Optima, Vata, and Megastar batteries.
So I could buy a battery for $488?
Yes, sir. For cars, trucks, and boats. Backed and distributed by Massey Automotive.
Which part?
Right here at Johnny Q Hardware and Auto Parts Division, 15 Arabita Avenue, Woodbrook. And our new Johnny Q Superstore, located at Lowlands Mall off Claude Noel Highway in Tobago. You could call 60 Tools.
All right. Thanks, boss. Nah, man. Granny.
Do you have $488 to lend, man?
If you're experiencing pain, constipation, headaches, poor blood circulation, high or low blood pressure, diabetes, cancer, swollen or darkened feet, come visit us at Health and Wealth Lifestyle, located at 73 Eastern Main Road, Barataria, opposite Eastern Credit Union. We at Health and Wealth Lifestyle offer a wide range of services. Come and experience our new 3D analyzer, which allows you to have a look inside your body. We also provide live blood analysis, iridology, ionic foot detox with foot soak and foot massage, aquatherapy, full body massage, and organic supplements on sale such as Nano Silver, Nano Zinc, Body Light, cold pressed sesame oil, and more. Health and Wealth Lifestyle, located at number 73 Eastern Main Road, Barataria, opposite Eastern Credit Union. For more information, call 275-8359 or 288-1108.
Join Nicole Huggins for Health and Wealth Lifestyle every Monday from 9:05 a.m. to 9:55 a.m. right here on the street 919 FM.
Hi, what's up, TNT? This is Wayne Johnson out of Brooklyn, New York. I always wanted to do something back home, and we're going to be doing our gospel segment on Mondays from 10 p.m. to 12 midnight. That's 10 p.m. to 12 midnight on 91.9 FM. Listen what I want you to do. Spread the word. Spread the word, TNT.
Salvation, full and free. Salvation is for everybody.
Mondays from 10 p.m. to 12 midnight. That's 10 p.m. to 12 midnight on 91.9 FM.
Join Pastor Kelvin Heinerine and friends for The Way, The Truth, The Life Radio Ministry, a Church of God ministry, live on the street 919 FM from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. This and every Sunday on the street 919 FM. Jesus said, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No man cometh to the Father except through me. John chapter 14, verse 6. For further information, contact 686-3845-349-5178 or 342-7303.
Hey, Dynamic Crew alongside Iwer George presents Soca Come. Featuring the boss himself, Iwer George. Iwer George. The boss man of Soca.
Yo, this is Iwer George, the big boss in the business, and I'm going to be in Grand Cinnamon on the 14th of April, Canada, forward the 6th. Commenters.
It's all going down the 14th of April at the Grand Cinnamon Banquet and Convention Center, Toronto, 3895 McNichol Avenue, Toronto, Ontario, 9 p.m. till. Tickets are just $35. Get them now at ticketgateway.com. Hey, so all you link up Dynamic Crew. It's all about Soca. Pop. Featuring Iwer George in concert.
Share the live. The Street 919 FM on Facebook and Instagram. Share the live. Iwer George on Instagram. Share the live. Iowa TV and Street TV on YouTube. Share the live. The Street 919 FM.
Right, welcome back and thank you for staying locked to the Street 919 FM. There's just one more little thing I wanted to read here. For those who say the government ain't doing nothing for poor people. You see, we keep hearing every week 200,000 people unemployed. 250,000 people unemployed. Next week will be 300,000, right? That we know. Why they unemployed? There are no jobs. And if you go on Foster Cummings' Facebook page, every week Foster Cummings is posting up advertisements for jobs, vacancies from a variety of companies around Trinidad and Tobago. The one he posted yesterday had about 37 vacancies. Yeah? We wouldn't come here on a Saturday or whenever and read out those vacancies and say, so if it is that you're interested, yeah, do that type of advertising because you're concerned about the unemployed. But we will come and gripe about how people suffering and school opening back on the 19th, and that is the same day that the price of the fuel is supposed to go up, and the taxi drivers going and increase the price of fuel. Taxi drivers and maxi drivers not paying taxes. They don't pay PAYE, but they make more money than the average citizen. Yeah? But we have a problem with that. That's okay. So every time anything go up, we will increase that. Nobody willing to take one for the team, take a little less off the top, so that we could, try and help out our fellow men because we are so concerned about the struggling and the poor and the destitute in Trinidad and Tobago. No, we're just concerned about our own personal situation. that the amount of money I put in the bank at the end of the day or the end of the week must not be impacted by anything at all. And if anything goes up that could impact and cause me to have to put $10 or $20 less in the bank every day, then I will increase my prices to ensure that not only is the amount of money that I put in the bank account every week or the month, as the case may be, not lessened. If I could put a few dollars more, well, at the expense of those who are really struggling and who have not received an increase in anything for the longest while, well, that is not my problem. If you're a public servant, the government's supposed to pay you your back pay, and the government's supposed to pay you your salary increase, even if they don't have the money to do it. So that is not my business. I drink in water and I mine in my business. And my business is my bottom line. So the only people who are required to take one for the team is the government. But everybody else, their profits must not be impacted whatsoever. Let me read this. All set. The Alternative Learning and Life Skills Enhancement Training is calling youth 18 to 35. And this falls under the Ministry of Youth Development and National Service. Free. Let me repeat that word. Free. In case you went in your fridge and you're looking for a red shandy or a Malta, let me repeat the word. Free. Yeah? Government don't do nothing for poor people. Expand your skill set and get trained in heavy equipment operation. Learn to operate skid steer loaders, backhoe loaders, bulldozers, excavators, and dump trucks. Register now with the Ministry of Youth Development at mydns.gov.tt or nesc.edu.tt. Wednesday, April 6th to Sunday, 10th April 2022, full-time and part-time. Location, so it starts on Tuesday the 19th. The very same day that the price of fuel going up, right? Same day it's starting. We know that the price of fuel going up on the 19th. Yeah? We know school children going back out to school on the 19th. But we don't know about this program. Location, NESC, Woodford Lodge Campus in Chaguanas. Requirements, you just need to have a valid driver's permit. You are required to attend in-person classes, and 75% attendance is required for full successful completion. Again, you're learning to operate skid steer loaders, backhoe loaders, bulldozers, excavators, and dump trucks. Any of these guys who always griping every week know how to do any of that? That is a skill that is in demand. That is a skill that pays a lot of money. But rather than we go and we scout for these things and come here and talk about that and encourage people to go and get training so that they could get employment when you see these advertisements come up, so that they can have the skills and the wherewithal that if it is, sometimes I see backhoes and so on being advertised for rent in the newspapers. If it's $700 a day or what as the case may be. So if it is that you have the skill to use one of these and you could go and get a little contract somewhere that requires the use of one backhoe, and you could rent this backhoe for the day because you know the amount of money that you're getting for this contract is sufficient for you to pay the rental and make a little kakada on the side. Encourage them to do that. But no, let me just come and beat up on the government and is the government and solution. 342-008-1466539. I had a very good night at the Hyatt. I ain't setting up my blood pressure this morning, as people always like to tell me. Don't let them do me that. What is going on with these phones? Why are they not charged? Let me see who I have here. Hello, good morning.
Hello? Hey, good morning. Good afternoon, Dominic. How are you?
Greetings.
Hello? Yeah, man. I'm listening to your editorial there. I kind of coming late, so I'm trying to get... Dominic?
Yes, sir. I hear you.
They tell themselves that they go still vote back the other party. Because with the other party, $500 to buy milk, get free laptop, and of course some of the so-called religious leaders, remember the so-called money that was water, I think it's $15 million they got. Do you remember that?
Yes, I do.
Want to know. Thing, right? And this local election, the people must not make the same mistake like what the Tobagonians did. Right? And let me have it back. You see certain people like Mr. Watson Duke should have gotten those 2 seats in the 2016 TH3 elections, you know. I know what gave him the lease on life and that. Remember the so-called boat situation that took place, the ferry situation problem around 2015 and 2016?
Yes.
That is what he and Fali Augustin ride the wave with that. It was one of the factors, along with, like I say, people, and perhaps the party executive didn't take that guy and Fali as a threat, despite the fact that they lost 2 seats in the 2016 election, 2016 THE election. Remember that?
Yes.
Right? They didn't take him on. And I think what broke the camel's back is that the executive in the PNM did not deal with the situation with Mr. Kelvin Charles and the fallout with this lady Angus Soifat. And I think that is where this gentleman gained some seats. Not to mention the fact that he also gained some ground in the 2020 election, where he actually thought that he would have won the seat because he would be the kingmaker.
Right.
Right? Because he was basically a proxy of the UNC. And for people who can't remember, during the election, the UNC had a special seat on the TV screen. I remember that they had a seat. They were looking at Tobago East. So they know who they were supporting.
Right.
But like I say again, they should have nipped that guy in the bud a long time, since 2016. He gotten 2 seats on the PNM, or they had to have it reduced from 10, or they should have see them as a threat, because he had got the money somewhere. He founded the party in 2019, and let's see what happening now.
Right.
And now he's coming on to Trinidad to do mischief, trying to split the votes in the East-West corridor, so the other side could win in the backside. So I'm waiting to see if he'll also go in. But like I say again, Dominic, it is very sad,
Yes.
that the things out there, that the government is doing. There are things out there that the government is doing. And for some strange reason, people people seem to take on the negative news and go with the negative news. So what I say, we have to be, like I say, be our P and Qs and just disseminate the good news, the good information out there. You take care, Dominic.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. All right, so it seems we only have one phone this morning because I don't know, apparently somebody didn't put this phone to charge and I don't know what's happening. So, yeah, let me see what's going on here. Mano, morning.
Morning, Dominic.
Morning, sir.
Good morning to everybody. Mammy Sauce, 1285 Party Street. Umanoga, good morning. Bataya, Jenny, everybody, Mr. Napuna, everybody, good morning.
Mano, you going already? I ain't know what went on there. Let me see who we have here. Hello, good morning. Good afternoon, sorry. Okay, all right.
I've tried.
Hello?
Hello, good morning, good afternoon, Dominic.
Hey, Jen, morning, afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon to all the callers and listeners on 91.9. Sometimes we just feel, Dominic, as if the things that we say in you and other presenters who would come with the facts, sometimes I feel as if people are not listening, and probably that will be because of the fact that the amount of people you see watching or probably calling in, that may not be a true reflection of people who are listening. I would just encourage you all to continue giving us the information, because there are silent listeners and there are people out there who are thinking. Our society is not one that is lost. Yes, we have challenges, and there are people who doing wrong, and it seems to be as if they are the ones getting all the front light and all the attention on them is an illusion. I think they are in the minority, but because of how the media plays it up, it makes it appear as if they are in the majority. So I will continue to encourage you and others to continue. Let us bring the truth. Let us keep talking to the people. Let us not get frustrated, because it's like an onion. Every time you get to one area, there's a layer to peel off, and you keep going on. So let us don't give up. But it is disheartening at times. And before I go, I just want to raise, I think the Ministry of Education would have set a bad precedent by awarding the young lady gold also, if she's not deserving of it. If it is a system where it's how much marks you make qualify you to get the gold, and she did not make it, and the young guy would have made it, not because her parents would have wanted to take this to court. I do not think they should have pacified the situation by awarding the two children now gold and saying is how much the boys make and how much the girls make. I think that young lady, her parents are setting her up for real disappointment, and she cannot be made to feel that her parents' money and position could buy her out anything. And I say shame on the parents also for doing that and putting their child in that position. But I want to leave it as a controversial thing. Had it been a child of African descent, who would have parents wanted to take the ministry to court because they had given him gold, and then when they check, he didn't make enough points, and it was an Indian girl make the points instead? Would the ministry or would the ministry be so accommodating to say, here, what, let us give both of them it and all that? You see, we have to ask these questions, because you're accustomed hearing them saying that African children not bright, African children not intelligent. And while they're studying in the night, we playing pan, and all this is happening, and this tasteful and racial comments they make. And here we have now African child excelling. A child of Indian descent did not make the marks, despite the fact they would have said she had before, but when they did the inquiry, she did not make the marks. And because her family wanted to take this to court, now they're giving her the gold with the child of African descent. So what you're telling this young fella, that you know what, all right, it's okay. She didn't make as much as you're making her, but just to suit her family and how it will look, we have given both all you. I think it is unfair, and I am very disheartened about what has happened. But there will be critics coming out and saying there's children, and why should I say that or not? Why should I not say that? I just want to know, why should I not make reference to that? So, Nick, you have a blessed day, and I hope everything is well with your sister. Bye.
Thank you, Jenny. So we continue to take your calls. As I said, we only have one line this morning because this other phone is rebooting. So, hello, good morning, afternoon, sorry.
Hey, Dominic, good afternoon,
hey, boss,
man.
Greetings.
Dominic, something very troubling to me this morning. When I open the newspapers, right, they hear a former police commissioner who was exposed to sensitive information, right? Security information about our country. And to see he coming now to expose what happened, what he know about the security system in Trinidad is very troubling as a citizen of Trinidad and Tobago to me. Yeah, because I read some articles with Clement and Joseph suing, and it showed me that Guy Griffith was a UNC operative. You understand? And this is very troubling to the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago. What's happening in our national security business, And Guy Griffith can never be the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago. Because if he is exposed to those sensitive information and want to talk about it, fellas, if he's the Prime Minister, between black and white, and if more white, it's very troubling. This morning. Okay? I hope you will elaborate more on that. That is very troubling to our country. Okay, Dominic, you have a nice day.
Thank you, sir. I haven't read that yet, but I will certainly look into it, and I'm sure I will have some comments to make. Yeah. Hello. Good afternoon.
Yeah. Good afternoon, Dominic.
Central. Yes.
Manu, I have to worry about gas. Gas could go up how much? He riding free bus all over the place, and together with some of his PNM friends. So then I have nothing to worry about gas. And by the way, I'm not living in Barbados, I'm not living in America, I live in Trinidad. And the PNM only like to pressure people, especially poor people.
Oh, so the people in Barbados not pressured?
I tell you, I'm not living in Barbados, I live in
but
Trinidad.
then explain to me, because if it's happening elsewhere, why should it not happen here?
I tell you again, I live in Trinidad, I want to know what's going on.
So are you saying that Trinidad is cut off from the rest of the world? So why is Trinidad so special?
I'm not saying that. What I am saying
then
is
you tell me what the government should do, Central.
If the PNM had gotten their act together, we will not be in this position.
Really? So then why did Kamala Persad-Bissessar increase the price of premium from $4 to $5.75? And it had Trinidad that time. Why she did that?
We didn't suffer.
We didn't what?
We didn't suffer.
Oh, because oil prices was nice then, right? And he was getting $500 baby grant to make child.
Yeah. They were making it around anyway, so
right.
What's the problem?
Oh, okay. Yeah, so let's encourage them to make more, right? That makes sense to you?
If that's what they choose, let it go ahead.
Oh, okay. All right.
All right,
When they choose that and then they make the child, right? And then it have plenty of them now. Don't be complaining.
Yeah,
Don't
well,
complain.
I'm telling you again, look, they're not getting 500 and they're still making the children. So it's not like they was making the children to collect the 500. You put the cart before the horse.
Oh.
You understand?
Yeah.
All right, later.
All right, Central. Right. You know, as one, well, let's realize how dotish that is song when, I'm not living in America and I'm not living in Barbados and I'm not living here. And that sounds so ridiculous, right? Because if the people in Barbados paying much higher prices for fuel than we are, right? They complaining? No. The same Mia Motley that all they want to love up is the same Mia Motley who increase the price. So don't tell me you ain't living in Barbados and you living in Trinidad and the PNM gotten the act together. Really? If Kamala didn't, and her government, if they didn't thief out the money, right? Then we wouldn't be in this position. If they had saved more, rather than steal more, we wouldn't be in this position. If they hadn't taken the exchequer account from $10 billion in overdraft to $33 billion in overdraft, you see that extra $23 billion? We would have been able to do quite a lot with it. Yeah? Then the government might have been able to sustain the subsidy. The $16 billion that they take from NGC that we don't know what the hell they did with it. Had they not done that, maybe if they're taking 8 instead of 16, the additional 8, this government would have had a buffer to be able to sustain the subsidy for a little longer. So when we want to talk that Janjat, tell me about that. Hello, good afternoon.
Dominic. Central must talk so because they were stealing all the money and they were enjoying all the thief money. So, Central could say anything. This is Central has sung like he done. Yeah? It's stupidness. You're my best afternoon.
Thank you, Kola. Well, then the next time I hear you talking about Singapore and Dubai and Qatar, I hope you're going to call in your people, you know, your favorite talk shows and tell them, we're not living in Qatar, we're not living in Singapore, and we're not living in Dubai, we're living in Trinidad. So talk the Trinidad reality. No, but they like to talk that talk. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Dominic.
Hi, Jama.
Dominic, you know, the little boy got natural brain, eh? I've seen on the papers where he just played tennis also.
Yes.
He won tournament yesterday 5-4. He also won 4-2. He also won 4-1. And he also won 4-2. That little boy is a natural brain. You see, Barrow child, he's a natural brain. And I wish him all the best of luck. Okay?
Yes. Hello, good afternoon.
Hope you're here.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Dominic.
Greetings, Brian.
Good afternoon to your listeners and callers from 91.9. Dominic, I mean, you really have patience, you know. Like, this man really wanted to spoil your night out last night.
Yes.
Because these fellas just don't make sense. Go ahead and make more babies to what's happening before and all kind of stupidness. And he don't live abroad, he live in here. Huh? Dominic, listen to me. The 10 countries that have the most amount of oil reserves in the world, it includes the United States of America. All you listener? The United States of America, Iran, Qatar, Kuwait, and the biggest one, you know where it is? Venezuela. Majority, if not all of those countries have increased the price of gas to the pump for their citizens. Not one of them who have all these oil reserves and all these refineries have been, their citizens have not been spared, and they are sheiks. They are kings and queens in their country. They have hundreds of cars, billions of dollars. You understand? But they have increased their prices, and they are rich countries. Always talking about them. This government, in the height of when we had to be, the world was asking countries, we're going to pay oil to hold the oil. When oil reached down to less than $0 for a barrel of oil, still gave us, we the people, concessions. We keep forgetting, as you had mentioned some of them earlier, Dominic. They gave us concessions in Trinidad and Tobago. We still have $6 additional $1,000 a year in we pocket. You understand? They reduced, according to you, the VAT on food price, on imports of food and so on. But we still have in this country over 400 people selling foreign used cars. Nobody here talking about that. If thing was so bad, how come we still have 400 people selling used car vehicles and using up the US dollars to bring in those vehicles? And near them closed down. How many of them closed down? Ask Mr. Fields and they how many closed down. Businesses is thriving in the bamboo. I ain't see nobody quarreling. But as Dominique said, if you had to lose $1 out of your profits, you're complaining. I listened to Martin George saying, oh, it's too early to do this. Now is not the right time. Martin George ever paid taxes on the amount of money he does make defending people in his life? Huh? You ever ask him, have you ever paid taxes, Mr. George, on the people that you defend? Private enterprise, doctors with private practice, do they pay taxes? Nobody wants to pay property tax. But they want the government to take the sole burden. You understand? Do everything for the country. Reduce this, reduce that. And let the government pay for the sole burden of running the country. And let us continue. Nearly 100,000 people signed up months ago to go to Tobago next week. 60 to 100,000 Trinidadians.
Brian, did Dr. Rowley tell them to do that?
No. He ain't tell them, but they're going though. You understand? And the same boat they're going on, the fare subsidized too. The same plane they're going on, the fare subsidized too. But
Correct.
Continue to subsidize and subsidize. What they're going to do? They're going to pray? They're going to march in Tobago? They're going to fete? And this is the hypocrisy of this country, people like Central and them. Let it continue, let the status quo continue, and let the government have the burden, and we must not share the burden. No. $1? How many times has it gone up in the same United States? I have family across the kitchen and then they're studying, not to carpool, they take public transport. And we're talking about Trinidad and Tobago, where almost every family, on an average, have 2 cars in the garage. And we still have traffic jam on the road. Who taking public transport? How many of us? Are we jumping in, we car, full into gas and we going? Are going to stop Carnival to stop next year? Or we still going to pay $8,000 for a costume, for a bikini and beads? I don't want to get into people's private affairs of their life. That is not my what I'm saying. But at the end of the day, you have people coming on radio stations and saying the government should not do this and the government should not increase the price, but the government must bear the responsibility for we to have a good time in Trinidad and Tobago. It is wrong. And they should keep the price, increase the price gradually, of course, but I have no problem with that extra dollar. It's not a problem. And it will continue. We have to share the burden of responsibility for what goes on in Trinidad and Tobago. Because right around us, including Guyana and Barbados, it's going on. And right around the world. The stupidness that we're listening to all the time. Thank you very much, Dominic.
Thank you, Brian. Yeah. I recall the price, when the price of a carib went up by $1. You see any decline in Ansamacal profits? In fact, the profits went up. The people buying any less beers? Yeah? The price of cigarette go up. You all buying any less cigarettes? No, man. No problem with that. Don't mind paying more for vices. But to assist in improving the government's coffers so that they could have a little extra money to do the other things that you all want. We have a problem with that. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Dominic.
Hi, good afternoon.
Dominic, you know what I think the people want? They want a welfare state. That is what the Trinidadians and Tobagonians, they want a welfare state. Because listen to me, when I hear about that Martin George jump out yesterday, he and the other woman in Tobago, they had other whatever, and it is $1 per liter, you know. There is $1. You understand? You're going to hear the taxis and them going to jump out. It's 50 cents on diesel per liter. And that is what they're making noise for. So they don't want to pay property tax. Some of them, they have their own private business. As you say, how much tax they paying on that? They have some of them with their own business. They have apartments renting. Or they don't want to pay property tax. So where the hell the government getting the money? Where they getting it? To go and beg other states? You have any country worth its salt has people have to pay taxes. Right? The world over. You understand? Look, before in America there with Trump trying to evade so many taxes that he's supposed to pay. What is wrong with the people here and always comparing us to Barbados? And I think that is a very vexing thing because people in Barbados just talk out against that woman. So let them come to compare her with Dr. Rowley. They have their own grouses over there. Look, even the other day nurses were marching. Right? How on them march the street here yet? With the COVID story. And a lot of them who getting on so, they get the COVID treatment and they get injection and they are living now to still try to taunt the government of this country. You understand me? And when they compare it with Barbados, let me tell you, if you come to pick up garbage in front of you in Barbados, you have to pay. They're getting everything collected in front of their door free. They don't want to pay taxes. They don't. So what they think it is at all? Government has to earn revenue by collecting taxes as well. How you think you're going to get a wage increase? And for $1, listen now, that I don't provoke me. And as for the Minister of Education, I'm calling on her, or let's solve that problem before any foolishness take place in court. You all must right whatever was wrong. The wrong has to be put right. So all you know what you have to do. You cannot deny the young man whose family pay private school tuition money for all the years, and he make his grade, and all he will let somebody who did not come on top of him and all they're trying to swing it around all home. Minister of Education, get it right. Thank you. That's all I have to say this morning. Thanks.
Thank you, Zina. Continue to take your calls. I'm not too sure which number that is, but as I said, only one of the phones is working this morning. So, hello. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Thank you for the information.
Yes.
Let me tell you something. All what these people and them decide to do is to thief my money, thief 10 million, and give somebody else $5. And they are happy to live on the $5, you know. That's what they're happy to live.
Yes.
But if my government did build the hospital in Point for $5 million, you hear how much of them would have cried. All that money what you see we have to get back from the hospital down there, the one in Arima, all this the flyover money, all that overbid what the contractors get, and they're still in court fighting for more money, you know. On the whole money they're fighting for, you know. And them people down in Central, them decide to fight for that because them they're growing up on corruption. They're going. You see the man from Jamaica had to run, and the man with the grey hair who say with the false news and all kind of thing in the parliament in London, in the States.
Yes.
You see how the man say afraid to come because of his life, you know. That's why the man don't want to come to face nobody down here because he's afraid for his life. And these are people that you have to look out for. Because they know that it had a lot of plagiarism going on in the prison too, eh? You ever hear about the Attorney General in court for so much money and he can't make a jail yet? And the partner who he trade with don't get condemned already? They don't sentence him already, you know? So all these people decide to do is to sit down, they throw false news on the radio and TV, let the stupid one pick it up. And them thieving by the millions and hiding in car trunk and in building wall on the house and putting in the money. And they sitting down in the back and listening to stupid people talk for them, you know. By when my property tax come. Because I know a lot of them build a house to live it and when they don't, they turn it into a restaurant. And they don't want to pay for that either. But they want the road fixed down in the road. Free. With my money. Brother, we just going down the right road and lock up all what we could lock up. Bring back we money home. Because Central Bank can over the about $500 million gone. They can't get it back yet, you know. They didn't bring it back for me, Dominic. Have a nice day, brother.
You too, sir.
Yeah, brother.
Hello, good afternoon.
Yeah, Mr. Good evening to you, Dominic.
Kingsley, greetings.
Yes, man. Dominic, I hear you, but I also have a problem with people comparing other country to my country. I think that comparing other country to my country, it is not right because it is different. It is naturally different. The economy is different. The way they buy gas is different. We have produced gas. A country we have gas. We have our refinery, but we're shut down. So we are saying is because of these things and them, why we have to pay more now at the tank. We are saying that if we did have the oil refinery functioning and petroleum stay functioning 100%, because I do not know where this Paria for. Nobody do not have an idea what Paria is doing, but we know what Petrotrain used to do. We have the facts and evidence what Petrotrain used to do.
All right, Kingsley, before you go on, let me explain something to you quickly, right?
Thank you
the
very
purpose
much.
of Paria is to import fuel, right? Now, when Petrotrain was running, the refinery, Petrotrain, the company is still around. It's just that the refinery aspect of Petrotrain is no longer in operations. Petrotrain, the refinery, had a capacity of 140,000 barrels of oil per day. Production in Trinidad could not satisfy that, so we were importing 100,000 barrels of oil per day, right? Whatever the price of oil was at that time, we were spending that US dollars to import that. And as we were told, the amount of money that we were making per barrel of oil, we were losing $5 to $7 US for every barrel of oil that we imported and refined. That was an untenable situation. What obtains now is all Paria has to do is to import the fuel and distribute it. When you had your refinery running, aside from having to spend money to import 100,000 barrels of oil per day, you had to find money to pay salaries and other benefits and other overhead costs, which was additional monies that had to be spent, which the state no longer has to spend. So actually what currently obtains is in the best interest of the citizens of this country.
So Paria buying fuel, we done our refinery, we done refine already and distributed to the rest of the people in this country.
In this country and also to the countries, the regional countries that Petrotrain was selling fuel to. Yeah, so we also export fuel. So we buy it on the open market. We look for...
To me,
Go ahead.
Paria is more functioning more than Petrotrain. Even if my fingers up, Petrotrain still functioning. What we do not have no evidence of that. We know
of course, we have evidence of that. What we have evidence of that. The only aspect of Petrotrin has now been split into 3 separate entities. Before, you would have had the refinery would have been one aspect of it, and what Paria would have been doing. Well, we wouldn't have had to be importing fuel because we were refining it here. But as I said, it was costing more to refine fuel as opposed to what we would now be paying. Now, with the increase in the price of oil and natural gas, or more so oil, which is a significant ingredient in the refining process for fuels, we have to pay more to import this fuel. We paid more for the fuel. And therefore, the government has a choice. They could say, well, okay, we're paying more, but the amount of money that we charging the average citizen for this fuel, we will leave it as is. Means the government now has to find additional monies now to pay this higher price to import this fuel, but they're selling it at the same price that they were selling it before. So that is less money the government now has to provide you with the 4 street lights that you were complaining about the other day, and the other communities that want the street lights, because we're taking that money to import fuel.
Dominic, I hear you. But the analysts and the economists in this country are saying that we could have saved Petrotrin. If you ask Kevin Rambuchan, he would say that. If you ask Mario Brown, if you ask the lady and the ex-PNM Minister of Finance, Karen Nunes, they're saying that we could have saved the infirmary because we find money to be out a paper factory, a toilet paper factory. We could have find that money some way to help our lifeline. What we know that Petrotrin and that oil refinery, since from 1956, Eric Williams, a dreams of the PNM for the vision of Trinidad and Tobago. But as I close, Dominic, I want to call on a political party by the name of PEP to make a statement about the youth officer chairman David Welch was on the bus route driving without a DP. A DP means David Welch, because I know you have no license, so I know you do not know what a DP means. A DP means that your driver's permit. You're supposed to have a driver's permit to be on the national road, and you're also supposed to have a pass to be on the bus route. And if you is the chairman of the PEP youth arm, I am very concerned that you I have to call you an educated dunce. Yes, I have to call you that, because you know going on the bus route without a pass, also driving a vehicle without a license, as we just call it, you know it is against the law. And up to now, 24 hours gone, you, the chairman of the youth arm from PEP, and the political leader of PEP, didn't make a statement about that. And I am concerned that these people is going to come in the public domain, is going to come on the airwave on the TV and try to muscle the young folk. I tell people of Bartara today, turn your backs on that Tobago party. What we are saying today, that Tobago party are being sponsored by a certain political party in this country, and you cannot allow that Tobago party to come in this country. And I call on Bartara, turn your back on Wasn't Joke. I thank you very much, Dominic.
Thank you, Kingsley. Well, you're not the only one who is saying that. I read this morning where PEP is saying to the PDP, stay in Tobago and mind Tobago business and leave Trinidad business alone. Hello, good afternoon.
Hey, Dominic.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it was a call. Like I like how I explained to Kingsley. And Kingsley's a man on the ground. Right? Don't take on what Kamala's saying about the reason why gas raised is because of the closing down of Petrotrin. Right? It's common sense. If you're dealing with 3 people, a custom paying 3, and your revenue cut down, you cut off 1. Right? So that means you have less to pay out. Petrotrin was a burden on the state, right? The refinery that cut out, right? So now we could handle our business. So I like how he explained it to him because he's a man in the street and he know that if you have 3 people and you cut one, you're saving some money here. So the refinery was cut out and Petrotrin still exists. It's just the refinery part, brother. Right? Again with Duke. Well, if Duke and them doing what they're doing in Tobago, could you imagine they getting power in Trinidad, what they will do to the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago? Eh? And he said Tobago first and Trinidad after. Let Duke go with that. Let them go back to Tobago and control Tobago. All right, Dominic, take care.
Yes, sir. Thank you much. Yeah, I don't know how else to explain it, right? To all the people saying about the refinery and the refinery and the refinery, I continue to make the point with respect to the refinery. If it is that the refinery was still up and running, the fact of the matter is we would still be importing over 100,000 barrels of oil per day at the current price of oil. That's US we'd have to find for that, and we would still be losing money. It was $5 to $7 we were losing per barrel of oil that we were refining back when the price was less than 100. How much do you think we'd have been losing now? Hello, good afternoon.
Afternoon. You know, can you like to piggyback on people? And what the lady who knows so such as she that she got, if tell him to open it, you have a bless.
Thank you, caller. I don't understand the price of fuel, and I made the point before. America has so many oil refineries. Why is it that the price is going up there to the point where people are stealing fuel from other people's cars in car parks? The price of fuel went up in Jamaica. Jamaica has a refinery, Petrojam. So why do we believe that in Trinidad and Tobago, as opposed to everywhere else, if it is we still had the refinery, that the price of fuel would have been low? We were paying subsidies for years. That is why Hawaii increased the price of premium from $4 to $5.75. Give all your K-packs, one shot, no grease, open the umbrella. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
I'm a caller from back. I regularly listen of the street, but thanks for welcoming you on your show. Is this Cooking with Dominic?
Yes, it is.
Okay, man. So, really, well, I'm now joining our voice with the gas price.
Yes.
Okay, man. So, Dominic, remember we now come out at 2 years pandemic, right?
Yes.
And so where's a little increase in thing, boy? Eh? I mean, the country hard, we know, right? And we're looking for solution, right?
Yes.
Solution. So much. I read in the papers this morning, man, and I see tyranny workers been checking for the land and thing, boy. And 2 acres and a lot, right? How much do you think we could work hard and go back to agriculture? Like, they get 2 acres, right?
Yes.
They get 1 acre, or, you know what I mean? Nobody don't want to buy. Anyway, if you play that song, play that song for me. If you cut me, you will see blood, right?
Yes.
Later.
Thank you. I think we have time for maybe one more or 2 quick ones. So feel free to call. See. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello.
Yes, good afternoon, caller.
Hey, Dominic.
Yes, sir.
A couple of weeks ago, Central made a statement concerning the top SCA student. He called earlier and I ain't talk nothing about that. You understand?
Yes.
He talk nothing about that. Also, apparently the future is a bubble.
Apparently.
Apparently. Because I can't understand why it is like it's only gas price raising in Trinidad. Now, if we put the guarantee back, what, gas price going to go down, the refinery will open back, and we will start back losing money. People can't see that?
Apparently not.
Something wrong with people in this country. I just tried to listen to the program on a Saturday and I just tried. But boy, I ain't that done. Wait all the money.
Thank you, sir. So I'm seeing that the PDP is having their Trinidad launch today, right? And the one thing that I notice that is similar to that of the UNC, I'm seeing the building. Somebody posted a video of, I don't know where this building is, if it's in Baratara or wherever it is, but at the front of the building you have 3 windows, well 6 windows, but the 3 windows at the top. One is emblazoned with the PDP symbol, and on either side of that symbol is pictures of Watson Duke. The only other party that you see, and that's the problem, that is what differentiates the PNM from these other parties. You see, the PNM is not a one-man show. The PNM doesn't hitch its wagon to Keith Rowley. The PDP hitches its wagon to Watson Duke. The UNC hitches its wagon to Kamla Prasad Bisesa. Hence the reason in 2015 they had a whole election campaign called Kamla 2015. So whenever it's anything with UNC, it's always a photograph of Kamla. And now, same thing at PDP. There were 2 big photos of Watson Duke. Again, I ask, for all the people who going down to wherever this is in Baratara or wherever to this launch, please find out for us, and maybe you could call. Who is the executive of that party? Does that party have a central executive? Who is the chairman? Who is the deputy chairman? Who is the treasurer? Who is the general secretary? Right? Who is the PRO? All of these positions that are critical. Does this party have a bank account? If so, which bank? Right? Because how are these things being paid for? Does this party have a constitution that dictates how the party is to be run, that outlines any disciplinary procedures that would need to be enforced in the event that any and all members of the party's executive should become errant? Find out all of these things before you go and don a PDP jersey and run down to Baratara or wherever to say you're supporting the PDP. Because if they do not respect, as it is, they do not respect structure as a party, they could never respect structure in government. Out of time, not out of things to say, please join Saran and Bruce in the morning, and I'll be back with you on Tuesday, God's willing, for another program. So do enjoy the rest of your Sunday, and I'm out.
Right here on the Street 919 FM, each and every Sunday from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. with yours truly, MC Duke, alongside Selector Kochi. So make it a day to do.